Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man, Druuill, and I'm back at you again with another video. Shout out to the GCVs, the Galactic Family, and Drew Nation. I need everybody to hit that like button, share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into it. Look, where do you see yourself at the end of this month? And what are you expecting yourself to accomplish? What goal do you have for yourself, and where do you see yourself at the end of this month? Do you want to be in the same place you were at when you started? Or do you want to be further than you were at the beginning? 30 days is a lot of time. Sometimes 31, sometimes either, I think 28, 29, but that's a lot of time. That's at least 4 weeks for you to make some decisions, get some things done, accomplish something, develop a new state of mind, a new way to think. That's a lot of time for you to make some changes in your life. And if you want to make changes in your life overall, if you want to have a different life overall, you're really going to have to take control over what you do from day to day. It's going to be something that you have to do. You don't have to do everything, but you have to do something. All right. So if you want to improve your life and make your life better, you got to do something. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. You don't have to create the Empire State Building. You don't have to solve a Rubik's Cube. All right. Well, you know what? I'll take that back. You don't have to create the Empire State Building, but you will have to solve a Rubik's Cube. All right. It's going to be the Rubik's Cube of your mind. You're going to have to crack the code in your mind of disbelief. You're going to have to crack the code in your mind of laziness. You're going to have to crack the code in your mind of I don't feel like it. You're going to have to crack the code in your mind of I'll put it off and do it tomorrow. You're going to have to crack the code in your mind of I'm too tired. I don't have enough energy. I don't feel it just doesn't feel like the right time. Anything like that, stuff like that, you're going to have to eliminate it. All right. Unless you have already been going hard and you really just need time to rest and you're not making any excuses to where you would be over pushing yourself. There's nothing wrong with pushing yourself. You just don't want to overly push yourself unless you got like a deadline, or unless somebody's about to give you $1,000 for a piece of work or something like that, and unless you're about to reap the reward and it calls for it. That's really when you want to save your the time where you push yourself, but or overly push yourself, but you just don't want to just run yourself into the ground, but you still want to maintain a steady workflow. Because if you do something too much, you may not want to do it the next time you go to do it. You may have to actually force yourself or push yourself, and that may result in procrastination. And you don't want to procrastinate. So you want to be able to do a healthy dose, a healthy amount of a good worthwhile effort every day. All right, you want to do a healthy dose and a healthy amount of a good worthwhile effort every day. Just put in enough. All right, and enough is when you know enough is enough. When you put in enough work throughout the day, whether you do it before work, whether you get off work, whether you do it on your lunch break, all right, whether you do it before you go to bed at night, whatever you do, when you put in, even if it's a small effort, whether you put in a good amount or something that's going to make a difference in your life. Whether you're BSing yourself or you're keeping it real with yourself. Whether this really isn't going to make a difference. This really isn't going to change anything. And it really doesn't matter the amount of work. It just has to be something that's worthwhile. Imagine making a drawing or a sculpture and just doing a little bit of it each day. All right, the amount of effort that you put in was worthwhile because it wasn't rushed. You took your time. You didn't just slap it together. It was something that you actually considered and put a lot of thinking into, put a lot of thought into. All right. So if you were to do that every day with your life or whatever else it is you're working on, then you'll have the same effect. At the end of the month, you'll have a well put together sculpture or well put together art piece or drawing or a piece of music or a book, or you might be a little bit more toned. Your arms may get bigger, might have a slimmer waist, might have some trim, a trimmed waist now. All right. You might have more money piling up. Whatever it is that you want to see an improvement on, just do a little bit of it at a time, but make sure it's enough. All right. It could be, if you can do a lot without killing yourself or overwhelming yourself, then by all means. But wherever you're at in your life, the amount you can do is better than doing nothing. Well, I've got kids. I've got this. I got to take care of grandma. I got to drive all the way out to East Jablip to go deliver some medicine. And then I got to pick somebody up from school. And then I got to go to the gym. And then or I got to go to church. You can make time for whatever you want. Even if it's an hour, even if it's 15 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 25 minutes, doing that every day will create discipline. And then you're just going to automatically want to accomplish more, because you're going to want to reach your goal and you're going to want to achieve it. So you're going to be driven to accomplish more. The least you do when you start out, and it's something for you to do every day, it's something for you to maintain that same work schedule, then it's going to increase over time. So you're going to be doing a little bit of it, a little bit of it, a little bit of it. Then soon you're going to see the value of it. You're going to see something. You're going to start to see something develop with your craft, with your mind, and how you feel about it, how you think about it, how you're looking at it. You're going to start to be more confident, and you're going to start to feel that you've got something like, oh, okay, I can do this. This is me. This is something that I could be good at. I see the value in this. I see if I keep putting more time and effort into this, then I'm going to eventually get to where I should be, because I'm going to have improved my skill set, and then I'm going to be able to use that skill set to add value to my life and other people's lives. And then that's going to help me create the life that I want, because I added value to myself. Continue to add value to yourself. All right, you can start at the beginning of the month, and then at the end of the month, you'll be surprised to where you're at. It'll be so much value that you're putting in yourself. You'll be like, wow, I made it from here all the way to there, and it only took a month. All right, only in a month's time, only in 4 weeks time. But that is a lot of time. People overlook how long a month is. You could use a month, and you could come up off a month. You could make the most out of that month, and you can make the most out of yourself, and that's going to make you do the same thing with every other month. That's going to make you do the same thing with every other month. You're going to start to improve on everything. It's like you're going to attack certain areas, and it's like once you start to attack one area of your life, you're going to look at all the other areas, and you're gonna implement that discipline in all the other areas, because you're going to see like, yo, it just takes time. I just have to take a step each day. I just have to do a little bit each day. I have to make certain improvements, a slight improvement, the right improvement. All right, day and night improvement every day. All right, so when you make the right improvements and you continue to be consistent with it, you're going to start to see something. It's going to start to build into something. It's going to start to turn into something. And you're going to start to see it like, okay, cool. My skill set is improving. Before I couldn't do this, now I can do that. All right, before I wasn't good at this part, now I got that part down. And you put it together like a puzzle. You figure out what you need to do, and you weigh that up against what you don't know how to do, and you keep doing little bits and pieces, and then you just add that to what you know until you figure out everything that you don't know, and you finally know how to do what it is you're trying to do. And then you're going to be able to create what you want to create. All right, you're going to be the person who people can come to, be like, yo, this person does that really good. We can go to him, we can go to her, she could help us, we could get this done. We could because she does it the right way. People, like, when you do what I'm telling you to do, nobody else is gonna, they're not gonna want to go to anybody else. They're gonna want to go to you, because your work ethic, your discipline is gonna be so strong that people are gonna think of you as the number one person when they think of somebody that does what you're doing. They're going to consider you one of the greats, one of the best people to ever do it. And that shouldn't be the only reason why you do it, but you should put in enough work to where you just know that will happen, or you'll have a position or a title as somebody who did their thing with whatever it is you're doing. All right, you don't want to not do something to your full capacity. You don't want to do something to where it's not going to benefit you. You don't want to just be doing something to be doing something. You don't want to do something that is wasting your time and not getting you to where you want to be, or you're spinning your wheels, or you think you're getting somewhere and you're not. You don't want to be doing that. All right, I'm pretty sure if you're like me, you've had enough of that and you would like that to change. All right, so if you continue to stay consistent and work on things each and every day throughout that whole entire month, all right, it's a challenge to where you just take 30 days, you do something for each day, the 30 days, all right, and you at the end of those 30 days, you'll be greater. you'll have basically you'll be working towards making it a habit, because it takes 90 days to make something a habit. That's why a lot of people say do it for 90 days. But if you get through the first 30, I guarantee you'll be able to do it for another 30 days and another 30 days. And then after the 90 days, it's just going to become a habit for you, and you're going to be gearing yourself towards success. And you're going to run smack dab right into it. Success is going to be chasing after you at that point. You're not going to be able to have the life that you want. You're not going to be able to you're not going to be making something of yourself. All right. And people complain about, oh, I don't have this, or this isn't how I want it to be, or I want more out of life, or how can I have some change? A lot of people don't know where to start. So this is where you can start. You just find something that you want to do, and you take it apart. You just do bits and pieces. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this part. I'm going to do that part. I'm going to do this part. And or however your mind works for you. This is just how my mind works, and this is how I attack it. Moral of the story, I'm just telling you to find something that it is you want to do. Find something that it is that you feel you'd be great at. All right, and attack it. All right, don't let another month go by. King of the road, y'all. Don't let another month go by to where you aren't accomplishing your goals and you aren't being what you want to be. You don't need enough money to start. You don't need to be perfect to start. You don't have to know what you're doing to start. You don't have to be good at it to start. All you got to do is pick it up and just get started. All right, you have to begin somewhere. You got to start somewhere. People are going to have things to say about you. People are going to have an opinion about you, but you have to be strong-minded enough and want success enough to not care. Somebody's going to have something to say. Somebody's going to say this. Somebody's going to say that. But you have to know where this is why it's important to have a vision, because you have to know where you're taking it. People can say what they want. It may be true, but at the end of the day, you're willing to not be that good right now, so that way eventually they're going to eat their words and you're going to have the last laugh, because you're not going to give up, and you're going to continue working, and you're not going to allow them to intimidate you or make you stop. When you're bad and you're willing to be bad, and you just don't care how bad you are, people will really laugh at you even harder, because they see you struggling to be better, and in their mind they're at least smart enough to realize, yo, if this person keeps going, they're eventually going to figure this out, because I could see the struggle in them and the fight in them and the strength in them and the hunger in them to want to figure this out. So let me laugh, let me discourage them, let me try to intimidate them, and try to get them to not do this, so that way they won't become successful at that, and then I won't have to be alone in my misery. So where do you want to be in the next month? All right, where do you want to be? That's 4 weeks. That's a lot of time. Even when you're working, even if you're going to school, even if you have a family to take care of, there's still time to yourself, for yourself, that you may, and this is where sacrifices come in. That time to yourself, that may be your only time to work on your goal. All right, some people want to use that time to themselves, because, yo, man, it's the only time I get. Other than that, it's my kids, it's my job, it's my family member that I'm taking care of. It's something that I have to do to help somebody else. I understand, but that little bit of time that you get, because you can't tell me you don't get any time to yourself, you may have to sacrifice that little bit of time you get to yourself. It may have to be sacrificed. That may be the only time that you have to work on what it is you have to do, and you may have to use that and sacrifice that time to work on whatever it is you need to work on at that particular point, because it's like, if you don't work on it and you just keep thinking about it, it's just going to keep passing you by, and you're going to be having it in your mind, and you could fool yourself into thinking that you're getting things done just because you got all these things that you think of that you need to do. But if you're not working on them and you're not getting it done, you just holding it in your mind and having the idea of doing it isn't going to change anything. And it's just going to be time passing you by, time passing you by, time passing you by, and then before you know it, that month is over, and then you're in the next month and you still could be where you're at with whatever you want to try to be better at or succeed at. And I understand that, but you have to fight for it. Even when it feels, even when you're procrastinating, you have to fight for it. You have to fight through the procrastination. You got to fight through the I don't feel like it. You got to fight through the I'll put it off to another day. You got to fight through that, and you got to find it in yourself to do it right then and there. There's always a way out. There's always a split second to when you're thinking about it. All you got to do is just get up out of bed, get up out of your chair. All right, get up and do it. All right, because if you don't do it, you're going to keep putting it off, and it's never going to get done. You need to get it done, so that way you could just get it done, get it over with, and then that way you'll have your brick for today. All right, you may not finish the whole project, you may not get the whole thing done, you may not complete it, but if you never keep putting those little pieces together, you'll never have a finished product, finished product, or a finished project. All right, you'll never be able to finish, and you don't want to not finish. Every time I look over, focus, yo, um, you're gonna want to just stay. You're gonna want to stay focused. All right, it's a lot going on in your life. If you're like me, I understand. There's a lot of things that may be taking your mind off of what you need to be focused on, but you still have to stay focused so that way you can get what you need to get done, because you don't want to just sit around and continue to have a life that you don't like. You don't want to have to continue to be in environments where you don't belong. You don't want to have to continue to be around people that don't like you and they're passive aggressive and petty. So you never know what you have to watch out for, because people are haters. You want to be able to create your own reality, and you can. All you have to do is focus on what it is that you want to create. Make every day a step towards that, and don't end and don't stop. All right, you want to be able to focus on what you're doing no matter what's going on around you, and that way you could always have your time to get things done. Because believe it or not to get off topic, when you're a person that's focused and you know what you want out of life, and you're taking your months and you're doing something with them, there are going to be people who are trying to distract you, because they see that you kind of stand out in the matrix when you have a goal or dream or passion, when you're not focused on the same vain mundane things as everybody else. All right, you can't relate to people, you can't talk to people, you stay to yourself a lot, and it draws people to you to focus on you and pay attention to you. All right, and especially when you mix jealousy into that, it's we know it's not good, but we deal with it and we overcome it. So that's why, while overcoming all that, and enduring all of that, you damn sure you know you have something great in you. All right, when you overcome all that, when you're able to mentally endure all that, you have a level of intelligence that's like military based. All right, you have a high level of intelligence. You're very smart, and a lot of people, right? A lot of people aren't on that level, so there are going to be people that just don't understand you, and that's okay. But when you feel alone because of that, it's because you're not putting in enough work. When you're feeling alone, it's because you're not busy. All right, if you feel alone, being busy will rightfully take care of that. If you feel alone, being busy will kick that feeling of aloneness right out the way, because you have you have something that you need to be working on. You have something that you're great at, something that you can do, and that thing is going to be able to change your life, make you some income, make you some money. You have to stay focused on it. You have to stay diligent with it. You have to stay disciplined with it. And it can't be something that you just put off. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I already did it once this week. I'll start next week, or it's the weekend. I'll do it on Monday. Your weekends are going to have to be given up mostly towards what you want to be able to do. All right, you're going to have to put a lot of time into your craft and into what you want to be successful at. You're going to have to, because when you don't, that's lost time.